I have a window next week as well. I've booked in your calendars. If you have any questions or doubts, we can discuss that. And probably what I'll do in the next session also. This is all good from a ideation perspective. Probably I'll give you some, while you're in preparing for interviews and stuff. What are the how do you stitch your story for your interview, and then what are the
Mm-hmm.
tips that like there are a lot. I have created some. Not created, I would say I downloaded few cheat codes as well, like how you can use those as one pager before your interview, quick reckoning what it is all about, and then how do you all
Mm-hmm.
place it together. Okay, so okay, in today's session what the idea is, from this table, once you have created this as a workshop, you have created this journey map where you have the job hunting, applying, network, trends and trust. From there, how do we now drive our minimum viable product? And then how do we say, okay, what are the features that we can say which is a high impact and low effort as in build effort or the and over here you would need an architect in your discussion. Okay, so who can give a high level estimate, t-shirt sizing, small, extra small, large, medium, and something like that. Okay, so, for example, let's start with, we will see how we can do it as a team. So, we had few groupings here. For example, app that takes my skills into consideration and filter out available jobs, display all job postings with high chances of your profile getting shortlisted, app that shows. So, basically, this is your job shortlisting sort of a thing, right?
Mm.
So, what I'll do is I'll put a this thing circle over, not this one, sorry. Use, so we'll say this is as job listings. Okay, so we'll say let's take job listings for an example. Okay, and I think there are a lot of features right now available in the market, but I think creating another listing or calling this, so for your minimum viable product, what I want to say is, if you want to create a job listing, what I think, the impact is very high, but the effort can be either medium or high in between that. Okay, now what it means basically is there are existing APIs or the existing systems that we can call for all the listing, like from Seek or from LinkedIn or from anywhere, right? And but then how do we filter it? Like how do we filter it for the profile? That is where the high effort would be. But just for a launch, we can still list out the profiles. Okay, so that's the reason why we said, okay, it's a high impact but a low effort. But then in the future state, where we also say, pre-fills, for example. Okay, now this pre-fills is good because you have your profile, you have your resume. Can we pre-fill it? Okay, now
Mhm.
this is a high impact, I guess this is a high impact, high effort sort of a
So- yeah.
scenario.
Sorry, Anikesh, I cannot see your screen, the one which you are sharing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Purva, can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop sharing and present again, maybe sometime. Let me know, Banu, if you're able to see it now.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, perfect. So what I was saying, the job listing, for example, we
Yeah.
want to put it as high impact and low to medium effort, for example. So basically, this graph is nothing but, if your low effort is somewhere here, that
Mm.
means it's extra small piece of a work, very easy, low hanging fruit. It's available, and you
Mm.
can easily do it. High effort is something which requires a lot of effort, and it can be phased out: phase one, phase two, phase three, phase four. Okay,
Mm.
so and similarly, if you look at this one, right, pre-fills, notifications and location, I think so this is quite easy. This is, notification is no more a myth nowadays. Notification is very easy. Purva also given an idea of notifications, I can see that, and the for the water idea, and we'll come there, we'll ask you to present that. I think it's a low effort but a high impact bucket. um Now let's see. There was something, should filter out job as per your skill set. There was something, keep tracker for a referral request. Okay.
Mhm.
Now this was like how many people have referred, sort of a tracker. Now,
Mhm.
for now, I would say, like, I don't know what you guys think. I think it is something high impact. Sorry, high effort. It is, there's no much impact to it. I don't know. I mean, what would I do if I know who has referred me? I can only follow up with them. But then if they choose not to respond, I can't do
Mm.
anything much, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. So the concept of this one is to give you that idea of how you can draw an impact assessment immediately in a workshop, and then you can go home, and then next day you can give tasks to the architect now to do a detailed solution design, and then categorize it, and then prioritize it. But over here you will get a view of that immediately while you're in the workshop, and this can be formalized as well a lot. So
Correct.
if you just Google a lot, you will have a lot of materials. So what I'll do is, in fact, I'll show you what outcome we showed in one of our last trainings that we did, and how it looked like. Okay, let me open that up. It should be this one.
Is mural same as Figma? Or
Yeah, mural is, it's a whiteboard. Figma is mainly was initially for wireframing. Now it has been used for it is FigJam is a new what do you say, whiteboarding thing, because they're now in competition with Miro as well, right? So
Miro? Yeah.
yeah, I think Miro board is quite impactful, I would say.
Mm.
Okay. Now, these are the few graphs that we created. For example, low impact. Let's take a claims experience, because Purva will be interested. How much we retail provider, retail partners to do business. Okay. So this one was about, the problem statement was, we have retail partners who sell our insurances, for example, and how do we make their business very interesting? You know, for example, large firm advisors, small firm advisors, support staff, customer. We created some API interface, community advisors, all of that, internal process and procedures. And then we plotted the graph. We said, okay, um, low ROI, or this is luxury, but we basically said high ROI and most important and least difficult. This is a low hanging fruit. So change to interface to allow non-linear fill out form application and quoting. So basically, we said there was a quoting application instead of one by one by one by one. Can we make it very intuitive, where we say a modular look interface? You finish one section of the form, automatically it pre-populates the next, and similarly, rest of the thing. Yeah. So, and then there was a very low hanging fruit as well, quick wins, like gamifying the whole advisor customer relationship, we said. So,
Okay.
how can we give more points, more incentives, and stuff like that? So idea is, like, in our this thing as well, we can quickly say, okay, high impact, low effort. Notification is something that it is really low hanging fruit. How we can provide that location based application. Job listing is something which is available. Can we start with that? Because your
Mm.
first requirement is have a job listing, and then get a notification, and then apply for that job, right? So yeah, this was the concept about it. Easy job application. Like, I'll copy this, and I think this is also, job application profile is still available. We can use a lot of reusable codes and stuff. So I'll place it somewhere. Sorry, place it somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, it is high impact and somewhere low effort as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so this was the whole
So the
concept.
better,
Yeah,
sorry, the better it is, like the more it is, the better it is for us, right?
yeah. If the impact is high and the
And everyone's low effort.
It is
Yes.
like
effort is low, then you quickly go and build it and test
Mm.
it out in the market whether it's working fine or not.
Cool.
Okay. So this was the concept of creative matrix, or impact versus effort matrix, and all of that. It's very easy concept, simple. If you look at it, there's no brainer required, as long as you have the right people in the right room. If you have the architect, if you have the business, and if you have few integration developers, technical team, basically, engineering team, they can quickly say, okay, yeah, I think this is available, this is not available, and stuff like that. So yeah, cool. Any questions on this one?
No. Okay.
All good. Okay. Now, what we will do is, now I've been doing a lot of talking in a couple of sessions. I know this whole training took a lot of time. Let's hear it from you guys, like whatever poster you guys created. So, Purva, you want to start with yourself?
Yes, I'll start that.
Okay.
So I wanna create and I don't wanna so I wanna don't wanna create an app, but I wanna do a merger with one of the app that Victorian government have. So the concept of this app is, see, we have lots of water station.
Mm-hmm.
What we don't have is we don't know where it is. So sometimes it's just right behind you, and you're thirsty, but you just can't drink it because you don't know it's where it is. So the concept is we'll pin the location of the water station, whatever nearby,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually, like we can do it in one of the Victorian government apps. So we can do it in PTV, we can do it in Tram Tracker. Like it depends on where we're pitching it. So the app is called Hydrate Mate by Purva. So okay, so this is as simple as that. So Melbourne has water station and people have taste. So they don't know where it is. That's it.
Okay.
So how do you want me to present? Do you want me to do it my way or do you want me to do it like read it through it and explain it?
It's up to you. I mean, if you want
Mhm.
to, take us through a journey, sort of a thing. How did you come up with this idea? What
Okay.
how did you define? So the idea of the poster concept poster. In the last session, I was explaining to Banu. So how do
Mhm.
we sum up all of this that we learned, right? The rosebud and thorn, the abstraction laddering. How did you come up with the problem statement? Now, when I say how do you come up, you might not have to say we did abstraction laddering to come up with a problem statement. You
Okay.
come,
Yeah.
you come up with a journey map sort of a thing. It's like I was very thirsty on a Sunday morning, and I couldn't find where to drink water, and that's when this idea clicked. What if I have a notification based app which tells
Mhm.
me where I can drink water? Now, solving water problem is not a big deal, so we came up with a idea, why we want to solve it and what did we want to solve it, and based on that you can define, so the why, which is your problem,
Yeah.
and what, which you have written, create an
Okay.
app, or a better yet, partner with the Victorian government to integrate. Yeah, so this is the concept idea of that one.
Yeah. And the best part about it is we don't really need a lot of money for it, like funds for it, because water station is already there. All we need is we need to know the location of it, where it is. So yeah.
Cool.
So I'll tell you how it started. So I'm always the girl who drinks a lot of water, like 3 liter, 5 liter a day. It's just normal for me. So I get thirsty a lot,
Yeah.
and so I like to walk as well. So I usually walk in park or different places. But sometime when I was new here, I had no idea where the water station is. I knew that there's a concept called water station,
Mm,
but I don't know where we could find it.
mm,
So then when I realized that, oh, there should be an app for it. And see, because nowadays in Melbourne, like the tourism is always like it is
correct.
going to grow a lot. So it'll be better because you already have spent the money on the resources. All you need to do is align the things.
Mm,
So yeah.
that's good.
So
Yeah, good to know. No, I mean, I would say great effort. This is just a starting to write all your why, what, how in one
mm,
page, or one sort of a infographic based page, which is, I can see you have used a lot of images, stickies. Looks very, very neat and beautiful. So yeah, we can organize all of this, and then we can take this concept. So this is a concept poster, right? After
yeah.
4 days or 5 days of a workshop, at the end of
Mm,
the day you just do this readout. Now
yes.
next fortnight you might come up with a beautiful presentation, the UI UX experience and all of that. So this is like a whiteboarding, you'll draw everything, which is
Mm,
serves the purpose. So good work. This looks amazing.
But I
One,
still think that sorry, I'm so sorry. I still think that I've written a lot of it on it, like less pictures and more. But I don't know. Like I tried to add a couple of pictures, but I think I'll need to work on it. Yeah.
yeah. What I would recommend is, now this is a
Mm,
great idea. Keep
mm,
this. Now
mm.
use one more template here and try to articulate whatever we learned on how I want to get a job.
Okay. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like how we had why, right? The money, goal, learning, well-being, networking, insights, and all of that, and come up with a story, why and how. Okay, like why. This is
Mm,
why is your
okay.
problem statement, and how is you how you want to solve your problem. Correct. And then you talk about. Then you went into an interview with different. Just make it up because we just did it
Okay.
internally.
Yeah.
We how we empathize with the user to understand what is available, what they are happy with, and
Yeah.
based on that you come up with a persona of a user, persona,
Yes.
like what is your
Yeah.
profile, how does it look
Mm,
like.
mm,
Okay.
mm, 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 mm.
And then how your minimum viable product looks like. And yeah,
Yes.
try give it a spin with what we did, so that because you have content here, now you can
Mm,
reuse most of the content, give it to chat gpt to create a lot of
yes.
writing for you as well. So yeah. Okay, now let's hear Bhanu is here. Okay, over here. Let's see.
Yeah, I didn't, I just added few of the touch-ups to what we already, worked on, Aniket.
Last
So
week, yeah.
instead of reinventing the wheel, I went with, the content there. So uh so the concept here is, whenever we are coming out of a university after graduating, and we don't have a right direction, even though there is a career advisors and all that, no one actually knows what you're looking for. There is a support like resume building, cover letter building and all that stuff, but no one knows what exactly you want. So that's how, like, you don't have any way to go out. So that's where kicks in career compass, so which guides you in the right direction as per your requirement.
Hmm,
So this app basically, so why we need this app? So first comes the why. So if you can see in the picture, there is a bird,
hmm,
looking at in all directions.
hmm,
This app will take in all the inputs of a user in the, like, whatever we have written in persona, like their university, graduate, gender, location, flexibility, their salary median or expectations, or what's the industry they are looking for, what the expectations, or if they have any dream job kind of thing. It takes all the inputs and it guides the person in the right direction, like where it considering all the available jobs, and taking all these inputs and put it together, and it says, you know these are the things you are eligible for, you can apply for it. So it helps the candidates to personalize ease interests in the, like, if you look at the current markets, or Indeed, Seek, or LinkedIn, there are hundreds, thousands of job openings, but you really have to filter it out. Every time you look for a different role, you need to filter it out, and you don't know where to go.
hmm,
So this app will come in, help you, take your data and guide you. And on top of that, nowadays that authenticity of the job is gone out,
hmm,
and no one believes whether it's authentic or not. So this will give the employer authentication system, where they will have, as blue tick in all the social media apps. It has the authentication and it gives a bit of confidence. Yes, I have applied for the right job. And it also provides some suggestions based on the trends, because when I mentioned in the persona, it takes all the inputs from you, and if there is any certification you are missing, this app will guide you and say, hey Bano, you are missing this certification, why don't you try this?
hmm,
And if there is something content build, or like, I know I'm talking too far ahead, but going forward, if you want to integrate with other learning resources,
hmm,
you can integrate that. That's also like an API which is available for research and development kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then comes in, how you do it. So I have developed, a 6-step process.
Hmm.
I want uh, i just did it, like cut short, make it simple kind of
That's
thing,
yeah.
instead of making it too
Specific.
lengthy
Yeah.
specific. So first you can see the pictures which I have created as a career compass logo and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So it will ask you, if you zoom in more, Anikesh, it will give you, so career compass, and it will say, you ask your profile, experience, and blah blah blah. Next it will ask you, next it will give you, these are the current applicable things, and and the tick thing with the green says it's authenticity.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the top eligible jobs, as per the interest of the candidate, and
Yeah.
says how much percentage. You can see in the app, 92 percentage of that candidate matches with the data scientist, because he was interested when he put the data. And then comes, the application stage. Like, nowadays, because it took the data in advance, it pre-fills, and it's like a one click thing.
Hmm.
But here there are multiple steps. Like, if the candidate is missing any of the things, it will give a notification like, you're missing this, you
Hmm.
need that. But to exclude that step, I said, one tick. And then it shows the stages of the application process. Yes, you have applied for the job. Now what happens next, the timeline.
Hmm.
And once he completes the offer, then you get a congratulations from the career compass saying, you have
You got
find
the job. Yeah.
you got the job. So
Nice.
how you measure the success of it is, like, if you go to the other quadrant.
Yeah.
So you should say, like, if a candidate comes saying, I need a job offer, then it should guide in a candidate in such a way, like, once they got the job, the GIF should say, like, I love my new job. So that kind of thing should be there. So this is how it is different from all the eligible competitors in the market. So it gives you 100% satisfaction to that. So that's why a lot of questionnaires happens in the early stage
Hmm.
of the app. And what's the next thing, Anikesh? There is one more on the top.
Yeah. So I think
You
the
missed one thing. This in this side, on the left side. Yes. So it helped. You can see here
insights. Yeah.
insights. No, this is one quadrant. What's the name of this quadrant? I forgot.
The name of the quadrant was what is the idea?
So what's the idea? So when I come to the idea, like, everyone will, at the end of the day, if a graduate or already existing person might say, I don't have a decent job. I need to find a job. So what next? Then career compass comes in and says, you know, and it will do all the job for the candidate. And by the end of the journey, the job will, the user should say, like, as mentioned in the GIF, or if you play the GIF, it should say,
Yeah.
you find a way to, you have a lot of cool jobs which I can get.
Yeah.
So because people are missing out because of lot of thing, lot of jobs, so they don't know where to go, so they're completely lost.
Hmm.
So now it acts as a compass. Like, remember, or find yourself in a situation where you're completely lost in a forest when you're trekking, and you need a compass. No other thing help you other than compass. Similar, like, career compass comes in that way and guides you to the right direction. So this is how the idea came out.
Hmm.
And then what might not work is, this is the high level thing. So
Yeah.
I made it into three things. The competition is a lot in the market, and there is a lot of lack of differentiation. There is no differentiation because too much of job availability and the market. So sometimes what happens is, the market might not feed, like, the chicken and egg problem.
Correct.
There might not be a new courses coming out. And, like, for example, in the past we didn't had a lot of AI related courses, but out of a sudden we had an industry change, and that came, lot of AI, Gen AI, and all that LLM, all the jobs. So there might be some kind of issues in the starting, but that differentiation should be, we need to work on it.
Yeah.
That might be one of the drawbacks. And the next thing is, if this content or the concept ideation was not clearly understood by the user experience team, that might create a mess. And if we didn't use our technology and like advanced AI kind of things, it might be a drawback as well. This might give us keep us back in the competition world, or a lot of markets, or a lot of existing applications like Seek, Indeed, LinkedIn are already using their AI content. So we have to use it. If we don't use it, it's going to be a drawback. And the third thing is user acquisition and the monetization. When I say user acquisition, means like there might be like a lot of users who doesn't know what they want to exactly do, and then they come into the app, they add all their preferences and all that stuff, and then it might not serve the purpose if they doesn't use the process of the apps. Like some users might just skip a step, and then they might not land in the position or whatever they are looking.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Can you
No,
hear me?
that's fine, that's
Yes.
okay. And the other thing is monetization. When I say monetization, if you're not using the seed funding, whatever we get for this app, and not using them in the proper channels, might be and drawback as well.
That's good. I mean, this is brilliant, amazing. I mean, good job. Really, you did. Yeah, you were able to articulate the whole problem and the solution and how you approach the concept. So yeah, this is what a concept poster looks like. So great work, man. This is good. A lot of effort has gone in. Good
Thank you.
work. Good work. Very good. Yeah. So this is how you usually can write up. There are a lot of examples as well. Like you can create a video, you can create a PPT, however you want, right? So yeah. No, that's good. I think from a course perspective, how we started, it's the problem concept statement is, I mean, you will have access to this board and you can always look at this instruction space at the top. I want to build a mobile app, for example. So what is how might we, what are what are your statement starters, how do you use statement starters, all of that is over here. You can read it through, try to apply it, do some research on. I think the most powerful one is this: the interviews. Whenever you are having workshops, have this kind of mindset. Just remember the part of the plant, or a flower, of rose flower. You have the rose, the positives, the buds, the potentials, and the thorns, which is basically your negatives, how what is not working. So whenever you are workshopping, start with that concept. Give 10-20 minutes to the people, give them sticky notes. If you're doing a physical live, get 3 color sticky note, red color, pink color, green, and a blue one, and give it to them, saying that scribble it, like what's working, what's not working, and how what's the potential. And it can be on anything, right? In a small part of a UI experience, or the small new project you want to start, you can use that. Okay. And yeah, so and then how you create those creative matrix, connecting all the dots, coming back from your abstraction laddering all the way till your minimum viable product you launch. You can run it in a different chains of workshops and stuff like that. And in the market there are different ways of as well. So if you want to do a research, so this is one methodology that I kind of showed you, combination of few design thinking methodology. So if you google, for example, what was that, ideation workshop by Martin Flower, I think so, that was the one. Sorry, not ideation, inception workshop. So I'll share this link with you,
Mm.
the WhatsApp probably, or I'll chat it, paste it here first. and bookmark this. This is also a very powerful concept, and it's very easy to follow because he has written. He was a guy who used to work in ThoughtWorks, and he was a consultant and a strategy consultant like us. So Lean Inception Workshop is nothing but if you just read it through,
Mm.
how do we incept a new project or a new work or a new idea? How do we bring it all along? So if you see, he has defined the whole agenda, like what can you do on Monday, first half, second half, Tuesday, first half, second half. Goes bit deep, but
Mm.
you have a minimum viable product canvas coming out of it. Okay. So for example, and I used this in one of the interviews and I was able to clear it. Okay. It was
Mm.
quite insightful. So for example, on a Monday, you start, right? And you start with product visioning. What does your product want to build? And it's a very easy and interesting concept. So this is a statement you write on the white note or on a sticky note saying for whom or for who's the final client, whose is the problem. This is like a prompter. Okay.
Mm.
And if you look at the sticky note, if I can zoom it, so they kind of did a workshop for gap in finance, for gap in NC or something like that, whose problem was, a profit was not working. And the is the prompter for name of the product. What do you want to name the product as? Finance gap or something like that. So for us, like for university pass out candidates, whose problem is they're not able to find the right job at the right market because of the visa issues, reference issues, and all of that. You can add multiple stickies in the wall. How we did the abstraction laddering, they're just trying to create a problem vision statement or product vision statement. And name of the product is, for example, you Bhanu, you said compass, right? And what is the product, what category is it? It's a job searching app. So and it is different from other competitions like LinkedIn or Indeed, is because it gives you the percentage match of your profile and the job that you're suitable for. And what's the differentiator of your product? It has got AI enabled resumes, and you can just keep put your ideas through. So each stickies that the people put, right, for this vision of the product form, that becomes an idea. Now I'll show you how. I'm running really fast, but don't worry, it is all documented here. If
Yeah.
you read it, you will just keep the idea. You will get the idea. Now in the afternoon session, you can run this. What does a product do? And what is a product? What is your product? What it can do? What it cannot do? So it's like the creative matrix that we kind of created, right? But it's a different creative matrix. It's not about effort versus impact. It is about what can your product do and what can your product cannot do. For example, a job seeking app cannot help you pay your electricity bills. I'm just making it up, right?
Yes.
Your product is a job seeking app, and what it doesn't
Help you pay the
pay
bill.
the bills. Okay. Now, in similar fashion, in what you can do is like for a job seeking app, it is it is a cloud based application. It is AI enabled. What it doesn't do, it doesn't track your references. For example, it doesn't help you getting the reference created. For example, because it's an app that you apply, nobody your referral won't apply it. So what it does, for example, it applies job. What it doesn't do is uh, doesn't give any sort of what do you say, push or mm, any favorism for the people you're applying for just making it up. Okay.
Mm.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So based on your product that you're building, you can write this up, and then you describe the persona, the same persona that we talked about. What is the user persona is like. What is the name, what is the profile, what is his behavior, needs, and all of that. Now once you have those bunch of stickies about them, the discovering the feature is very interesting in this concept. Okay, how do you discover? So you remember the persona stickies that we took, you plot it on your y-axis, and the goals. So the goals are not nothing but your what does your what was that, the product vision. you know Whatever product vision you have, you just plot it in the x-axis, and then your persona in the y-axis. Okay. I'll show you how it is. So basically something like this. So whatever the goals and the persona matches, you create a feature that becomes a feature. Okay. So they have some examples over here. It's very hard to show it and zoom it, but you have this link. Have a read through it. It's very interesting and it's very intense also. So there are different. My idea point is, whatever we did, the abstraction laddering, empathy, and creative matrix, the three things that we learn. It's not necessary that that is the only methodology. There's other methodologies as well in the market, like lean inception workshops. How quickly in 1 week you can incept and project end to end. Okay, so basically what happens is by the end of the day or by Friday, you already have a canvas over here where it says what is start with your proposal, what is your minimum viable product you want to do. Then it goes in a sequence: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. It's like an S that it creates. So then what is who are your persona, what is the customer journey that you want to create or talk about, what are the features, what is the cost and the schedule. And to derive that cost and schedule, there is a methodology over here as well. Technical user experience, business reviews. I think so. This is the one. Yeah. So the effort versus return on investment. So this is the cost part. What was the effort, and what is the so same thing that we did. Low impact, high impact sort of a thing. So give it a try, read it through, and this is a one that people have used it in ThoughtWorks, in different organization, in different big projects that they have worked on. They have done this kind of personas. If you look at the stickies, it's huge, right? This is all pre-COVID. Right now, it's all Miro board and online. But I still love this format where you are disconnecting from your devices and basically writing it down and sticking it up. So, and then people actually do in this workshop, they estimate 20 story point, 10 story point, 100 story point, big, extra large and stuff like that. So yeah, so this is one concept I wanted to give it to your idea about. And yeah, you can actually look for more design thinking workshop ideas. Okay, it is not restricted to any particular idea. If you just Google design thinking workshop ideas, there are different ways, and mostly it will start with your empathy mapping to your goal, to your minimum viable product, the same thing or the other. Okay. So IDEO is also a company who actually started with design thinking from they are basically from Stanford group cohort that created. So there's a lot of articles available about what is design thinking, how can you create make your ideas tangible through prototyping, what is prototyping, how can you create customer journeys and all of that. So you can probably read it through, and it'll help you. Okay, any questions? And the questions can not necessarily related to what we learned. Anything that you want to ask. Let's have 18 minutes. Ask me anything.
I had a question, like when we create, the concept poster,
Hmm.
and after, what happens after the concept poster, like the process in the market.
Okay. What I'll do is, let me show you something that we did. So this is a concept poster that you got it out of the end of the day, right? Now let
Yeah.
me show you. Mm, okay. This was run for a very deeper sort of concept for a very long time. Okay, I'll show you how it looks like. I'm able to present this. So I have it in my Canva.
Hmm.
Okay, there's a lot of things, and there was a lot of people involved. So this one was in my previous organization in the insurance firm. We tried to create a 2023-2025 roadmap. Now it's 2025. Hopefully the company have implemented this. I don't know. I've left the company last year, 2024. So yeah. So we gave that concept. Let's see. Basically, what we said out of that multiple concept posters, right? We had a 3-year digital experience strategy. So we create, and it is not by anyone in that workshop, just you alone, Bhanu. You need to get a lot
Oh.
of stakeholders and then
Hmm.
create that digital strategy. Then context, you create those contexts, the partners and the member needs. Now this partner and member needs was nothing but your empathy workshops that we did, the rose
Hmm.
marathon. There were recordings and everything. The competitor analysis is nothing but you know uh, the differentiators we talk about. We didn't do an extensive experience on
Hmm.
one. Then the current state digital adoption, cost to serve, these are all back end work that we need to do. Then the strategic focus, design experience, digital strategy, future ecosystem, initiatives. Now initiatives is nothing but your minimum viable product that we talk about, the matrix. Now and I'll show you how it looks like. So this was the readout we talked about. What was the context, how to win a new business. For example, we were pitching at that time to Unisuper, saying
Hmm.
that, hey Unisuper, why don't we become your insurance partner for your life accident TPD. Now, how to win? So we said we create a best-in-class custom and member experience. Now, this was based on the feedback that we got from your empathy mapping and all of that. And then claims was the biggest takeaway, saying that I want to claim easily because I'm already in a distress because something happened to me. I might lost a job or somebody passed away in my family. I don't want to talk to anyone. I
Hmm.
want my claims to be done straight up. Okay. And then, is there any efficient way of those transactions, like renewal of my policies, increasing in cover, and all of that? Okay. And based on that, this was the objectives of the organization back then: to grow, create value, and create experience. And what were the enablers that we said is available right now, like reduce development cost, enhance automation, prove our digital capability by rolling solution to existing partners. Now MVP concept, but this was what we were saying, this is how we can win. Okay. Now this were the needs based on those stickies that we have. And now back then there was not much generative AI, but we had the UX team and the CX team translating those into the verbatims like this. Key
Okay.
needs, insightful member engagement, leveraging insurance data and insights for the partners in the sense Unisuper as a super funds, right? Members, like, make it relevant. Like you and me, when we took an insurance, we just want relevant insurance. We don't want anything else which is not required and stuff like that. And this was the competitor analysis. Who is there, who is the current insurer, and all of that. With right now, for example, Unisuper, Tal was there back then. And then AMP right now, I think so Unisuper is with Purva, correct me, it is I forgot the name. Zurich. Yeah, I think
Oh,
your life insurance cover is Zurich, isn't it?
no, 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 no. I forget the name. I forgot the name, but no, no. It's yours was
Ours was MLC.
yes, MetLife.
Oh, MetLife won it. Okay.
Yes, 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 yes. I keep forgetting. I thought you were in MetLife now.
No,
Okay.
no. Okay. So this was the competitor analysis. Now we had a third party organization who can do our competitor analysis. We don't, like big organization, they will spend money and they
Hmm.
will get all that user experience comparison, all of that, you know.
Mm.
And this was the deep dive. So and then they created this kind of a graph saying that what are we doing and what are the other competitors doing, sort of a thing. Now this customer experience was again based on the feedback that we got. This was the digital usages from the graphs that we have in the company. But the most interesting one was the journey. Okay. The how was the whole end-to-end journey, like the abstraction laddering that we do, why and
Hmm.
how. Now
Hmm.
that got translated into like awareness, explore, and claim experience. So again, you need a UX team to create this journey map. Yeah.
So which part you did? Like among
So it's not a one person's job, that's the thing I'm saying. We so my part was running the workshop, running the strategic thinking and everything. Now whatever outcomes that we gathered all together, now we sit with the UX team and then we again do workshops internally, smaller versions. So we come up with this were the high level concept like awareness, explore, and claim. So these are the journey experience. Then in awareness, how do you get a new insurance? What is the trigger? You
Mm.
member can log into a portal to see that I need to increase my insurance, or they can see an advertisement in the TV or the YouTube or somewhere. you know and then how do they apply the whole journey of the application and the claims? Okay, so this all is an outcome of all the workshops that you did. And I'm not saying that that workshop that we did is a 1 day workshop. It can run over to multiple days, like for a week or 2 weeks, and then after that you take around more 4 to 5 weeks to come up with this kind of outcomes or the sliders that you prepare to read out. Okay. This was a SWOT analysis, alignment. There was one thing where we were talking about the MVP. Yeah, these initiatives. So the low hanging fruits that we saw. So it's like, what can we start with? Can we leverage the existing member data that we have in the system, for example, and create this kind of thing? A member first is insight. Can we create a dashboard internally so that we can understand how the customers are behaving? Then create a journey, and that journey map that we saw. And then the step three or the drop three was content development, like how can we make our contents more meaningful. Okay, and similarly modernize the existing digital experience. Now there were an existing portal, existing everything, so we baseline from there. Now to your question, Purva, how did we create that? Because we had a baseline UI UX experience, right? So we said, okay, from here, what is not working, what is working, and based on that we say, can we create a focus area where somebody says voluntary cover purchase, I want to voluntarily purchase something. Eradicate all the paper based forms, anything that they need to PDF, write, sign, scan, and upload. Can we personalize them basically based on your persona? If you're a techie, then what sort of cover that you would need? If you are a truck driver, or if you are you're having a white collar or a blue collar job, so your personalization would be different. um, and then
So
yeah.
I had a question like this insurance, whatever you are, quoting to the user, is it a, health insurance
No,
or
this was life insurance mainly.
life insurance?
Yeah, life, TPD, accident,
Okay.
and yeah, total permanent disability, accident cover,
And
uh,
income protection as well, right?
income protection, like your salary loss if you
Yeah.
lose a job. Then by default, as a super contributor, we already are subscribed to few of those default features if you log into your super. But what you can do is you can increase your coverage
Coverage. Yeah.
on your lifestyle changes or anything like that. But I mean, I have never done it. So yeah,
Mm.
but it's advisable. You can also look at those money, how they are getting invested in the market also.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So this kind of things, there are other, let me see if I have any other presentation that kind of I
That's
created.
quite big though.
Yeah, this is not a, that's what I'm saying. It was
Yeah.
48 or 50 slides, but it
Mm,
was, built over the period of 2 months or 3 months.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So, so the idea of BA is to, just do this design thinking processes and then give it to, UI UX developers
yeah,
and
yeah. So,
get the
yeah, there's
thing.
no handover sort of a concept. It will be like they will be part of that. So when you're having a workshop, they will be also sitting in the room, right? So
Mm.
when you create the actions, you already enable them saying that, hey, this is what we are doing.
Mm.
Why can't you why don't you do this? Now as a BA, you might not be involved to facilitate or run the whole thing end to end. There will be a product owner who will
Mm.
be responsible, accountable to
Mm.
ensure that these artifacts are produced. But as a BA, you might run the workshop and create those stickies and write it down, and
Mm.
then action is on the user experience designer, who is going to translate those user experience, whatever we consumed over there, to
Mm.
give a readout saying that what were the pain points from the member experience or customer experience, or from the users, or from the management, EGMs and stuff, or executives. Okay, so a product owner, a product manager typically are accountable for those kind of things. But as a BA, I would say maybe when you join a company, initially you might not get involved in this one, but at certain point in your life story, you will
Mm,
be required to do this kind of workshops. Now, as I said, in a typical what do you say program, there might be UX team who have already done this empathy mapping, and they'll give, okay, these are the pain points. Now, because now you understand the concept of empathy mapping, the rosebud and thorn. Now, if you look at a problem statement from a customer, you can identify, okay, this might be the reason why the, like how when we say, right, how BAs can put their hats, customer hat on, this is how you can put it. You can tap into the shoulder, and then based on that, you can write the stories much easier and faster. Okay, you're given maintenance acceptance criteria, you will have the specs, you will have the UX design, and then you will write it down. So yeah, that's one way of giving an outcome. There are other ways as well. There's a lot. Right now what I'm doing in my current transformation program, so
mm,
we are running a 6 weeks discovery workshop, okay, where we identifying the as is, all the as is L4 L3 processes, as is customer experience, system experience. uh, and then we are running a 12 weeks to 18 weeks solution design or ideation workshop, where we are solving all of that, whys and the hows. So we are doing the how and the what in the 8 weeks or 18 weeks solution. So what we're doing is we're writing the requirements, and then we're handing that over to the technology team, because this is a bit of a waterfall agile sort of a thing in a big organization. But typical organization will have a scrum team where you will discover, ideate, then you will have developers in your team where you will say, okay, these are the features that you need to develop. Right now what
mm,
we're doing is we're handing over to another team who's taking all those requirement, and then again running agile workshops over there to
mm.
create that. So it's kind of a agile, two agiles and connected through waterfall. So yeah.
Mm.
And
So
look,
currently you're working as a BA,
no, I'm
in
working
which
as a product manager. uh,
product manager?
yeah, so my
Uh,
role is predominantly as a strategy management consultant. So, and we are transforming from remedy to service now. So yeah, it's a huge big transformation, 2027 roadmap. So yeah. Okay, I had this much, and this was just an introduction or a flavor of what is happening in the modern digital tech world at the moment. And there are traditional ways that is also happening in the market in Australia. But if you get a chance to go and work in America, for example, and I guess India is way advanced right now, so they are actually following this kind of design thinking principles and writing the requirements. So, in Silicon Valley, definitely they have gone par this one. Australia right now is adopting few of those methodologies at the moment, I would say. But America's, India's are already running. So we are right now crawling. So India is running at the moment, so they are fully agile. Startups, they are like the disruptors right now in the market. So yeah. All right. So next week probably we will. It's an optional. If you want to join, you can join in or ask anything. If you want some help in your resume, I can spend that time as well with you guys to look at your resume and help you, updating or adding some points and giving some keywords as well. But yeah, officially this is our last session, and we're done with the concept. I'm trying to create other course materials as well. And once it's ready, I will share with you guys, and I'll also share that in LinkedIn. But this time, I think so it'll be a paid gig for other folks. But then you guys are foundation guys, so you're happy to walk in. So, and I'm thinking of running it in like face to face in person, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday in a community hub in Docklands or somewhere where we can actually come in all together. We'll see. I'm thinking still, but let's see. Yeah.
So, what will be the future workshop or something? Like, is it based on the same thing or?
No, I'm thinking of doing a lot of other varieties. I'm exploring different options. I probably may start with the basics only. Now I think so this was a bit advanced stuff for you guys, because I assume that you had a bit of concept of business analysis. For the uni students, maybe I'll start with what does industry business analyst looks like, and how do you write your given when and thens. So I will actually have to go through myself with few courses, like what does IIBA do, what does certified scrum masters do, those kind of, try to mix it up with a modern way of working, the ways of working that's happening in the marketplace, and in the job, and then try to see how it goes. So yeah,
I am right now doing this IIS certification as well.
good.
Uh, Yes, yes, yes. So I've just ordered the book, and in case you should see the book.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's huge, and I have just enrolled myself for the entry level
Yeah,
exam, and the book is it's really huge, and I'm like I'm so scared about the book, but
What is that? Sorry, I missed it.
it's,
IIBA.
so
IIT.
IBA is yeah. So I've enrolled for one of the exam, which is just entry level BA, but the book is just huge.
Because
I,
I think so. IIB and BA book has got all of those concept of what do you say, technical documentation,
yeah,
BDR, business BRDs and TRDs and WRDs, right? Business
yeah, yeah.
requirement documents. And
Mm.
nowadays in the market, that's the thing, right? My only challenge with those kind of certifications is that they're not latest.
Yes.
If I go and for an interview and somebody says in my last experience I wrote BRDs, I will not take that person. Simple. Because if somebody says that I wrote BRDs, that means he's first of all waterfall, and number two, it will take 3 months for somebody to write a BRD document, because technically that's how the requirement gathering phase is for 3 months. You write BRDs all throughout. But agile BAs, you
Mm.
were in a sprint, you wrote given, and then I had 5 Jira stories that I created. So yeah, I mean, good concept, Purva, from a basic perspective. Learn it and apply it through the agile ways that's happening in the market as well. So
Mm.
that'll help you to grow. Yeah.
And I really need your help with the CV. I've recently updated my CV.
Sure.
I'm gonna make two CVs, one for UniSuper for any internal opportunity, one for outside super.
Sure.
So so whenever I think I'll be going out of Melbourne next week, so I might not be able to join it. But whenever you're free, we'll just catch up
Call me up.
for
Yeah, you have my
yeah.
number. Just send a
Yes, yes.
WhatsApp message. I'll set up some time with you. That's fine. I can help you with that resume. Now, most of my resumes are written by ChatGPT or Gemini or any.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, all good.
Go.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining in and trusting me. It was great. I hope you guys had fun.